my friend, are a self-selecting avatar. A self-selecting avatar, whether you know it or not, you've done it. In fact, you've probably done it in the last week, maybe less, maybe in the last 30 minutes. Because many of you I know are already driving to work, or you've already driven to work and you're about to punch the clock and go to work for the day. But somewhere along the way, you pulled into a drive-thru, you drove up to the window, and at that funny little international speaker box where you don't know what planet you're talking to, because they're all bloody around, you said, "Could I please have a large kale with energy pre-workouts?" And the person at the other went, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you're at McDonald's. We don't have kale anything." Or, "I'm sorry, not at Starbucks." Right? You're a self-selected avatar. Before you even drove into the drive-thru, you decided what kind of customer you would be and what you demanded of the people who were about to serve you. Self-selected you are, Mr. Mrs. Avatar. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and I can't tell you how many times I've run into people I've said it right here on this podcast before. The first client that I fire is the one who says to me, "Help me write a speech that sells." Because what that tells me is that they're much more concerned with standing at the front of the room or on the platform or on their podcast or their webinar or their video series or even their television show and telling a story that captivates everyone's attention, and they really don't care if it's true or not, if they've lived it or not, if it has authenticity or not, if they have the authority to be talking about the subject or not. All they know is, if I can get it in front of enough people with enough money in their pocket, I can get wealthy. I fire that customer because I don't write that kind of speeches. I don't teach the power of authority that comes with good communication skills to people who only want to use it to manipulate. But I can tell you, as a leadership coach, I've worked with a lot of small business people who are just trying to help, and as a result, going broke. Because you can help a whole lot of people who have no ability to pay you. I was there. I've done the same thing. I've helped a lot of people. I've donated a lot of hours to nonprofits who, just a little bit off the top, a little smidge here and a little smidge there, and a little thank you letter here and a plaque there, and no real paycheck to pay the bills with. And I know that I was helping, and I was helping them grow, and I was doing a good thing, but Mr. IRS and Mr. Electric Company don't care how good I've been or how many people I've helped. They want to know that my business is thriving enough to pay the bills that they want to collect. Because they don't worry about avatars. If my lights come on, they expect to get paid. Funny how that works, isn't it? And then there are those who say, "Well, I just want to do the work that makes me feel good." And so when it comes to a category of work, it's, well, I don't really want to do the accounting part, or I don't really care about the marketing part, or I don't really care about the sales part, or I don't really care about the product development part, or the research part, or the competitor part. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just like making cabinets. I like doing this thing, creating content, making videos, making blogs. That's awesome. Those are good things to do, and I'm glad that you enjoy them, but will they, in the end, pay the bills? And the answer is no. Because all of that, without all the other elements of business, well, they don't work. And then finally, there's the one who says, "I just want to have the kind of business that, whatever the business is, whatever the product is, whatever the service is, I don't care, as long as the person I'm developing it for has deep pockets and they're ready to part with their money. So tell me who has deep pockets and they're ready to part with their money, and I will make a product or service to go after them. I'll make the next new shiny something that they want to have, that they have to have." The Steve Jobs iPod idea. He said in his own words, No one wanted an iPod when I created one because they'd never seen or heard of it. They had no idea that you could carry music around in your pocket. And now people can't live without it. Now, if you've got that kind of innovative genius, the world will beat a path to your door, and you will create opportunity for yourself and an empire around yourself. And that's awesome. But if you don't have that kind of innovation, then where in the world will you find your avatar? How will you define your customer? How do you put together just wanting to help with doing the work that I love, with finding the customers who have the money to spend it, and how do I get them to come beat a path to my door? There's a couple of things you might want to observe. Drive-through lines on your way to work. Because see, there's a certain type of person who's in line at McDonald's for the McCafe and a McGriddle on their way to work. Generally budget-conscious people. They want a quick bite, they want something easy, they're not greatly concerned about their diet or their nutrition. They just want something quick and easy and affordable, in and out and on with their life. And then perhaps there's the Starbucks line, or the Chick-fil-A line, or the Sonic line. Or maybe it's the Smoothie King line. And each one of them, their lines, those drive-through lines, they're filled with self-selecting avatars. Because the businesses have been good about developing a product and a service that is quality. Being willing to help the customer who comes to them. Marketing themselves and positioning themselves as a differentiator amongst other drive-through lines. Why a kale smoothie at 6:30 in the morning versus a cup of coffee and a McGriddle, or just a cup of coffee and, egg bites? Or tater tots and French dipsticks. See, all of these are options in the marketplace. All of them have self-selecting avatars. People who've said, I am a French dipstick kind of a person. I am an egg bites kind of a person. I am a McGriddle kind of a person. And on this day, that's the product or the service that I want. And all the branding and all the marketing and all of the sales and all the product development and all the quality of service that goes into that process serves that customer for that day because they've self-selected that product for that day. Now, I hope this is causing you to think a little bit, if you're an entrepreneur, into how in the world do I develop my product, my service? Well, there's a whole series of questions that I ask that go a little bit deeper than that, like who do you resonate with? Well, what makes you think that you can serve them better than anything else? What do you have to offer that's unique to the marketplace? And maybe as an entrepreneur, as a communicator, as a storyteller, as a writer, a blogger, a video person, maybe there's something inside of you that's as uniquely different as a kale shake from a McGriddle. And if I can help you to find that, I can help you to tell the story, which becomes the position and the marketing, which makes you have a unique selling position. And Wednesday morning, I'll be doing that live at a round table in Euless, Texas. Go to the homepage, jlorennorris.com, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see an Evite. Click on it. It's free. Just join us for the conversation. I'm J. Loren Norris at Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell All I Get Is TV. Have a blessed day.